You think it's out here waiting to make things easy for you? Let me tell you something, the world doesn't care about your struggles. It doesn't care how hard you fought, how much you've bled, how many times you've dragged yourself up from the ground. The only thing it respects is strength. Ruthless, raw, unbreakable strength. So here's the question you gotta answer. Are you gonna be the hunter or the hunted? Are you going to fight or fold? You want power? You want respect? Then earn it. Because no one, I mean no one, is going to hand it to you. Every doubt, every excuse, every hesitation, they're chains you forge yourself holding you back. And the only way you're breaking free is if you're willing to do what it takes. If you're ready to be ruthless, not with others, but with yourself. This isn't about looking tough. This isn't about words. This is about what's inside. It's about digging deeper than you've ever gone. Every time you feel that fire, that pain, every voice telling you to quit, that's fuel. That's what's going to make you unstoppable. The only enemy that matters is the one in your head, the one that tells you to stop, to stay comfortable, to stay soft. You kill that voice, you crush it. That's the real war. And if you're not ready to face that war every single day, then step aside, because the world doesn't have time for the weak. Look around. You think anyone got where they are by being comfortable, by hiding from the pain? They faced it. They embraced it. They let it carve them into something stronger than fear. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep standing there, chained to your excuses? Or are you going to get ruthless, tear away every ounce of weakness and build yourself up from the ashes? Because this isn't just about you. This is about making a mark that no one can erase. It's about becoming a force that can't be broken, that can't be ignored. But that doesn't come cheap. That's blood, sweat, every doubt turned into fuel. It's a choice to face the darkness and come out unshaken. To rise, to conquer, to be feared. So make your choice. Weakness or war. Survival or surrender. Because every day you wait is another day you're left behind. Another day that someone else is out there stronger, hungrier, more ruthless than you. It's time to tear down every excuse, to silence every doubt, to show them who you are, not because you're asking for their respect, but because you're taking it. You want to be remembered, then rise. You want to be feared, then fight. You want power. Then be ready to unleash hell, to be relentless, to be ruthless. Because only the ruthless survive. You thought it'd get easier. You thought one win, one success, one breakthrough would make the road any smoother. No, this is where it gets harder, much harder. The higher you climb, the more relentless you've got to be. Discipline, it's not something you can turn on when you feel like it. It's who you've got to become. Every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter how broken or beaten down you show up. Because the grind doesn't care about yesterday's victories, and it sure as hell doesn't care about how tired you are today. This is the part no one talks about: the lonely hours, the sacrifices, the days that feel like they're crushing you from the inside out. Because that's what it takes: sacrifice, sweat, pain, all day, every day, until the mission is complete. And that mission, it's not some distant goal. It's every choice you make, every moment right now. The mission is getting through the grind, no shortcuts, no excuses. Because every excuse you make is just another way to stay soft, another step back. Listen closely, it's not about wanting it. It's about being willing to pay for it. Everybody wants the glory, the results, the respect, but only a few are willing to put in the work, the hours that no one sees, the days that chew you up and spit you. And the difference, it's right here. It's in the discipline, the relentless, ruthless discipline that separates the good from the great, the strong from the unstoppable. You're gonna hit walls. You're gonna feel like you've hit your limit. But that limit, it's a lie. It's a cage you've built to keep yourself safe, to keep yourself small. Break through it, push past it, go deeper, go harder. And remember, this isn't about feeling motivated. This is about something much bigger. This is about purpose, your purpose. Discipline is the difference between what you want and what you're willing to fight for. It's the reason you're up before the sun, the reason you're still grinding when everyone else has gone home. It's the voice that says, not yet, when you're ready to give up. It's the edge that no one can take from you because it's been forged through sacrifice and relentless pursuit. So you tell me, are you going to settle for good enough? Are you going to a little pain, a little fatigue stand in your way? If you want what most people never have, you've got to be willing to do what most people never will. That means locking in, blocking out every distraction, every doubt, and putting in the work. Every single day. Forget comfort. Forget feeling good. Those are luxuries for the weak. Focus on the mission. Focus on the grit, the grind, the growth that comes from pushing through every ounce of pain. Because when it's all said and done, when the dust settles, there's only one question that matters. Did you give it everything? Every day, every choice, every sacrifice, it all adds up. So don't just talk about it. Don't just dream about it. Live it. Live the mission. Live the grind. Live the discipline that will make you unstoppable. Because when you're standing at the top, when you've gone beyond what you thought was possible, you'll know it was all worth it. You'll know that every second of pain, every ounce of struggle, was just one more brick on the road to your greatness. So what's it gonna be? Are you ready to pay the price? Are you ready to fight, to suffer, to sacrifice everything to reach that place no one else can go? Only the ruthless survive. Only the disciplined conquer. So rise and give the world everything you've got. Because in the end, it's not the dreams you had that matter. It's the battles you fought, the sweat you bled, and the strength you built. Get ruthless, get disciplined, and show them who you really are. You're going to fail. Hear me out. You're going to stumble, fall, and doubt yourself more times than you can count. Because if you're chasing anything worth having, anything that matters, failure is the one thing you can't avoid. And that's the beauty of it. Every setback, every moment you're knocked down, that's where the real growth happens. Growth doesn't come from comfort. Growth doesn't come from winning all the time. It comes from the struggle, from standing up each time you're knocked down and deciding this won't break me. See, resilience isn't some gift or talent. It's a choice. Every time life throws you down, every time it beats you up, you have two options: stay down or get up and keep going. And the only thing that separates those who reach their potential from those who don't is that choice, over and over, no matter how hard it gets. Most people run at the first sign of struggle. They look for the easy way out. They don't want the pain, the discomfort. But you're different. You've got to embrace the setbacks, the failures, the doubts, because they're part of the process. They're there to make you stronger, to show you what you're really made of. So when you're in the trenches, when it feels like the world's against you, remember this: every challenge, every loss is fuel. It's fuel for your comeback. It's fuel to push harder, dig deeper, and come back stronger. Because resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about being unshakable. You can't control what happens to you. You can't control the setbacks, the losses, the pain. But you can control how you respond. Every time life tests you, you can choose to let it weaken you, or you can choose to use it to build your strength. That's resilience. That's the fire that keeps you going when everyone else quits. And it's a fire you've got to feed. With every failure, every bruise, every ounce of struggle, you're building something most people will never understand: a mind that cannot be broken, a spirit that cannot be crushed. Here's the truth: life doesn't care if you're tired, if you're hurting, if you've got 1,000 reasons to quit. Life's job is to throw everything it's got at you. Your job to take it, to stand tall, to grit your teeth and keep moving forward. Because when it's dark, when it's hard, that's when you find out what you're really made of. That's where real strength is born, not in the moments of victory, but in the moments of struggle, when you decide that nothing is going to stop you. So the next time you're on the ground, the next time you feel like you can't take one more step, remember this: that's your moment. That's the point where most people give up, but not you. That's the moment you decide to rise, to push through, to fight like hell for every inch. Because if you want greatness, if you want to achieve something that's going to outlast you, you've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You've got to train yourself to see adversity as an ally, not an enemy. Think of every obstacle as a stepping stone, every failure as a lesson. You're not here to coast. You're not here to play it safe. You're here to face the hard times, the pain, the struggle, and come out stronger, sharper, and more relentless than you ever thought you could be. Because here's the thing: the world isn't going to hand you greatness. It's not going to roll out a red carpet for your dreams. You've got to take it. Every inch, every mile. And the only way you're going to do that is by embracing every bit of resistance that comes your way. And when you finally reach the top, when you look back at the mountain you've climbed, you'll know it wasn't the easy days that got you there. It was the days when you didn't want to get up. The days when everything seemed stacked against you. The days when no one else believed in you. Those are the days that define you. Those are the days that forge your legacy. So don't fear the struggle. Don't fear the failure. Fear giving up. Fear what happens if you let it all go because it got too hard. The journey won't be easy. The road won't be smooth. But if you've got the guts to keep going, to face every setback with grit and resilience, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. So what are you waiting for? Get up, get moving, and show the world what resilience really looks like. This is where most people quit the everyday grind. Not because it's too hard, but because it's not glamorous. It's not exciting. You're not going to get applause for showing up every day. You're not going to see big results after one day or even 100. But that's the thing, greatness isn't built on moments, it's built on habits, it's built on consistency. Day in and day out, you show up when it's hard, when you're tired, when no one's watching. That's where the magic happens. That's where champions are made, not in a single moment of victory, but in the thousands of tiny moments that no one else will ever see. It's in the discipline. Every day, every rep, every step, it's all adding up like drops of water filling a bucket. Most people give up before they even see it start to fill. Discipline means doing it when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you'd rather be anywhere else. It means keeping the promises you made to yourself long after the motivation fades. Because motivation is temporary, it'll abandon you when things get hard, but discipline stays.
This journey, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And the only way to finish it, to actually reach this you're chasing, is through relentless, ruthless consistency. One day at a time. See, most people want results without the work. They want the prize without the pain. But you know that every small action, every bit of effort you put in, it's all shaping you. It's carving out the person you're becoming. That's why you show up. That's why you don't quit. Because you know that even on the hardest days, every single step forward is a step closer to who you're meant to be. Success doesn't come from doing it once. It comes from doing it over and over and over again. It's a chain you're building day by day, link by link. And every time you show up, every time you cross another day off that calendar, you're reinforcing that chain. You're building something unbreakable. So ask yourself, can you do that? Can you find the strength not just to go hard one day, but to show up every day? Because that's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. Consistency is the secret weapon. You're not always going to want to do it. No one does. But champions don't wait until they feel ready. Champions don't wait for motivation to show up. They create their own momentum. They commit to the process, to the grind, to every single day, even when there's no one cheering them on. Because they know that true success, true greatness isn't built in front of crowds. It's built here in the quiet, in the daily discipline that no one else will ever see. It's easy to lose sight of the goal when you're in the middle of the grind. It's easy to forget why you started. But that's why you need a plan. That's why you need goals that pull you forward every single day, even when it's hard, even when the results feel invisible. Write it down. See it. Every day, remind yourself why you're here. Because without a clear purpose, the grind will feel meaningless. But with it, you'll find strength you didn't even know you had. So keep showing up. Keep putting in the work, even when it feels like it's going nowhere. Because all of those small actions, they're building your foundation. They're creating something solid, something real. And one day, all that work, all that discipline, it's going to pay off in ways you can't even imagine. But you've got to trust the process. You've got to be willing to grind. And you've got to know deep down that every single day you show up, you're one step closer to the life you've been fighting for. You're building a legacy one day at a time. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. So don't wait for the perfect moment, for the right feeling. Get up, put in the work, and do it again tomorrow. Because when the results finally come, when you're standing at the finish line, looking back at the journey, you'll know it wasn't a single moment that got you there. It was the relentless, unbreakable commitment to showing up every single day. This is where most people stop when the pain kicks in, when things start to feel impossible. But here's the truth. Every great story, every remarkable journey is filled with setbacks, challenges, and moments when it would be so much easier to quit. Resilience isn't built in comfort. It's built in the struggle. It's built when you're at your breaking point and you make the decision to push through. When you tell yourself, I can handle this, I will keep going. Life is going to test you. It's going to throw things at you that you didn't expect. Setbacks, failures, losses. And the question is, what will you do when you're faced with those moments? Will you let them define you? Will you let them break you? Or will you rise from them? Will you learn from them, grow from them, and become stronger because of them? It's easy to keep going when everything's going your way, when you're winning, when you're feeling good. But the real test, the real growth happens in the hard moments, the dark times, the failures. Those are the times that shape you. Because resilience isn't about never falling down. It's about getting back up every single time. Every time you bounce back, every time you refuse to give up, you're rewriting your own story. You're proving, not just to the world, but to yourself, that you can handle whatever life throws your way, that you're capable of more than you thought. Because resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about becoming unbreakable. Setbacks are inevitable. Doubts, fear, failure, they're all part of the process, but every setback is an opportunity. An opportunity to rise above, to prove that nothing can stop you. Not the doubts, not the failures, not the pain. And that's the beauty of resilience. It's a choice, your choice, to decide that no matter how many times you fall, you'll always get back up. That no obstacle is bigger than your determination. Look back at everything you've already been through. Every challenge you thought you couldn't overcome. Every moment you thought you couldn't keep going. And yet here you are, you survived it all. You became stronger because of it all. Resilience is knowing that every challenge, every setback is shaping you, preparing you. It's making you someone who can face anything. Someone who will not break. You have a choice to see obstacles as reasons to stop or as reasons to push harder. To see setbacks as proof of your limits or as fuel to push past them. It's not the obstacles that define you, it's how you respond to them. And every time you choose to rise, every time you choose to keep going, you're proving something powerful not just to others, but to yourself. That you are unstoppable. The road to greatness is paved with obstacles. It's filled with setbacks, doubts, and moments that test everything you're made of. But that's what makes it worth it. That's what makes the journey meaningful. So the next time you face a challenge, the next time life tries to knock you down, remember, you've been here before. And every single time you've found a way to keep going. This isn't the end of your story, it's just another chapter, another test, another chance to prove that no matter what comes your way, you are resilient. You are stronger than any obstacle. And you will rise every single time. We've all been there, the moment when you stand at the edge, looking down at something that scares you, something that challenges you to the core. The impulse is to retreat, to find comfort, to stay where it's safe. But here's the thing, nothing worthwhile ever comes from staying comfortable. The truth is, comfort is a killer of growth. It's easy to stay where you are. It's easy to stick to what's familiar. But if you want to reach your full potential, if you want to grow stronger, smarter, more capable, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when things are hard. When you push past the voice in your head that says, this is too much. When you embrace the discomfort, the struggle, the uncertainty, and keep going anyway. In fact, the more uncomfortable you get, the more you're growing. The more you challenge yourself, the more you expand your limits. If you're never uncomfortable, you're never growing. And if you're never growing, you're standing still. So what happens when you step out of your comfort zone? At first, it's terrifying. It's exhausting. You question yourself. You feel like giving up. But here's the thing, after you push through that discomfort, after you face the fear and refuse to back down, you realize something important. You're capable of so much more than you thought. You look back and see the distance you've traveled, and suddenly that discomfort doesn't seem so big anymore. Growth is about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. About learning to see fear not as a signal to stop, but as a sign that you're on the right path. Because every time you step into that discomfort zone, you're expanding your boundaries. You're getting stronger. You're sharpening your resilience. Look at every obstacle as an opportunity. The harder it is, the more you're learning. The more you're strengthening your character, the more you're sharpening your ability to overcome. Because you're not just building your body, you're building your mind, your spirit, and your heart. There's a reason people say, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Every moment of discomfort, every difficult challenge is an opportunity to test your limits, to push past your fears, and to become someone who's not afraid of the struggle. That's what makes you unstoppable. The willingness to keep going even when it's uncomfortable, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. So when you feel that hesitation, that fear creeping in, that urge to turn back to comfort, remember this. Comfort is the enemy of growth. It's the discomfort that means you're moving forward. It's the discomfort that means you're evolving. You have to be willing to step into the unknown, to take that leap of faith, to embrace the challenges that scare you. Because that's where the magic happens. It's the discomfort that makes the journey worth it. And once you realize that, once you embrace it, you'll find yourself capable of things you never thought possible. You'll push past your limits, you'll conquer your fears, and you'll emerge stronger, better, and more confident with each challenge. So the next time you face that moment of discomfort, lean into it, embrace it, and keep moving forward. Every day is a battle, but it's not always the grand life or death moments that define us. No, it's the small daily decisions. It's the little things you do when no one's watching. The moments when you could just rest or take it easy, but instead you push yourself harder. Most people are looking for a shortcut, some fast track to success. They want to believe that there's an easy way out, a way to skip the pain, the struggle. But there is no shortcut. There's only the grind. The grind that demands you show up every single day, no matter what. It demands you give your best, even when you feel like you have nothing left. You want to be ruthless, then get comfortable with the grind. It's in the repetition, the consistency, the commitment to keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps are. It's easy to quit when the progress isn't immediate, when you can't see the results right away. That's the moment most people give up, but not you. You keep going. You show up when the world is still asleep. You rise when your body is screaming for rest. You push even when no one is clapping for you, because you know that success is built piece by piece, day by day. And every little action you take, every small choice you make is one step closer to the power you crave. You don't get to skip the struggle. You don't get to avoid the grind. If you want greatness, you have to put in the work every single day. And here's the truth, most people won't do it. Most people will take the easy way out. They'll make excuses, they'll justify their failures with their circumstances, but not you. You don't accept excuses. You don't care about the pain, the fatigue, the setbacks. You take the pain and you turn it into fuel. You understand that it's the day in, day out consistency that builds the foundation for greatness. It's the quiet hours when no one's watching, when no one's pushing you, that are the true test. The true warriors don't just show up when they're excited. They show up when they're tired, when they're beaten down, when they feel like quitting. But they keep moving forward because they understand that this is the path to becoming unbreakable. This is how you develop the strength to rise above the rest. You keep showing up. Because in the end, it's not the big victories that matter most, it's the daily battles. It's the decision to never quit, to never give up, to keep fighting even when you're all alone in the trenches. This is the true power of consistency. You've been avoiding pain your whole life, haven't you? You've been taught to run from it, to make sure it stays as far away from you as possible. But here's the hard truth: pain is your greatest ally. It's the fire that will forge you into something unstoppable, something beyond the reach of the weak. You're not meant to run from pain. You're meant to face it head on, to embrace it, because that's where true strength is born. Pain is the test. It's the one thing that separates those who will break from those who will rise. When you hit rock bottom, when you feel like there's nothing left but the raw ache in your bones, that's when you've got to dig deeper. That's when the transformation begins. Why do you think the greatest warriors, the strongest men and women, are the ones who've been broken the most? It's not by accident. They understand something you don't fully get yet, that without pain, there is no progress. There is no growth. Pain is the catalyst that turns ordinary people into legends. Pain teaches you things comfort never will. Comfort gives you false hope. It whispers sweet lies that make you feel safe, like you're doing just fine. But comfort makes you weak. It lulls you into mediocrity. You get too comfortable, and before you know it, you're standing still, stuck in the quicksand of your own excuses. But pain strips all that away. Pain doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your fear. Pain doesn't ask for permission. It just shows up and forces you to face what you're really made of. And in that moment, when you feel like you can't take another step, when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to quit, that's when you make the choice. You can either let the pain destroy you, or you can let it fuel you. You don't want to be the person who collapses under pressure, do you? You don't want to be the person who looks back at their life and sees nothing but missed opportunities because they couldn't handle a little discomfort. You want to be the one who stands tall, who faces adversity with fire in their eyes, who laughs in the face of pain, because you know it's nothing but a stepping stone to the greatness you were born for. Every drop of sweat, every tear, every ounce of blood you shed, it all matters. That's how you know you're on the right path. Because when you push through the pain, when you refuse to let it break you, you become more than you ever were before. You become the person you've always dreamed of being, and you do it by turning the pain into power. Stop running. Stop hiding. Pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher, your trainer, your partner in the fight for your future. So the next time life throws you into the fire, you don't retreat. You don't hesitate. You charge straight in with everything you've got, knowing that it's the only way to become the unbreakable force you were always meant to be. You want to win? You want to come out on top, to be the one who conquers everything standing in your way? Then you better learn to fight the most brutal war of all the war inside your own mind. It's not the external battles that will defeat you. No, it's the ones you fight within yourself, the doubts, the second guessing, The voices in your head telling you that you're not good enough, that you can't do it, that maybe it's better to just stay in your comfort zone and play it safe. The enemy's not outside you, it's within you. Most people crumble when faced with their own weaknesses. They back down, fall silent, shrink in the face of the fight. They listen to those doubts, those lies, and they believe them. And that's how they lose. But not you. Not if you're serious about being ruthless. Not if you want to break through the barriers and become unstoppable. Mental strength is everything. It's the ability to silence the doubt, to crush the fear before it even takes root. It's the power to look your inner demons in the eye and laugh. It's knowing that no matter what the world throws at you, no matter how loud the voice in your head gets telling you to quit, you will not fold. You will not back down. You have to train your mind like a muscle. You have to feed it with the right thoughts, the right fuel. The brain is like a garden. What you plant there will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and self-pity, that's what you'll harvest. But if you plant strength, confidence, and the belief that you can accomplish anything, then that's what you'll become. But here's the problem: most people never get this far. They don't do the mental work. They're too focused on the external, how they look, what they own, who's watching them. They neglect the battle that matters most. They let their minds remain weak, their thoughts unfocused, and their purpose undefined. They live in the shadow of fear, too scared to look inside and ask themselves the hard questions. But you're not like them, are you? You're different. You've got the fire, you've got the hunger, you've got the grit. So now it's time to take that fight inside. It's time to dominate the battlefield of your mind. Start by acknowledging the truth. You are your own worst enemy. And once you realize that, you can start making the shift. You don't have to listen to the lies. You don't have to listen to the voice telling you to stop. You don't have to entertain weakness. You can turn the volume down on fear until it's nothing more than a whisper. This fight, it's all in here. It's all in your mind. So train it. Condition it to be as ruthless as your body, as relentless as your soul. Because when you master your mind, when you stop letting it control you, then nothing can stop you. Not your doubts, not your fears, not the world. You will be unstoppable. There's a saying, actions speak louder than words. But I'll take it a step further. Actions speak louder than intentions. We live in a world full of people with big dreams, but most of them are trapped in the realm of ideas. They're sitting around making plans, imagining success, talking about what they want to do. They talk and talk, but never take the steps to actually make those ideas a reality. But you're different. You're not going to let your dreams stay in the what if category. You're going to take action, relentless action, every single day. Because action is the only thing that gets results. It doesn't matter how much you talk, how much you plan, or how much you wish. If you don't back it up with action, nothing changes. And let me tell you, if you're not moving, someone else is. Imagine this: you want to become a force in your field, a true master at your craft. You want to be at the top, not just a player in the game, but the one who dominates the field? Well, it's not going to happen because you wish for it. It's going to happen because you wake up every single day and do the work. You put in the grind when no one else is looking. You push forward even when your body is screaming for rest. Success is built on consistent, relentless action. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones get up and keep moving when everyone else stops. They don't let distractions, setbacks, or hardships stop them. They find ways to use them as fuel. The world will try to slow you down. People will doubt you, mock you, and tell you to quit. But none of that matters if you keep your focus locked on the end goal. You have to be relentless. The kind of person who doesn't just set goals, but knocks them down one by one. No hesitation, no excuses. Here's the hard truth: most people are too comfortable. They think that by thinking about something or wishing for it enough, it'll magically appear. But this world doesn't care about your wishes. It rewards hard work. It rewards consistent effort. The world gives to the people who act. And you can't just take any action. You have to take massive action. Don't just dip your toes in. Don't just do the minimum. Dive in and do what it takes to move the needle. You'll have to sacrifice comfort. You'll have to make tough decisions, but you'll also gain the confidence that comes from making progress, from seeing the fruits of your labor pay off. Relentless action means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means putting in the work when the outcome isn't clear. It means embracing discomfort, getting used to the grind, and realizing that the more you push yourself, the further you'll go. The only way to become unstoppable is to act, and keep acting till you've achieved what others said was impossible. So stop thinking about what you want. Start doing what it takes to get it. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood concepts when it comes to success: failure. Most people fear failure. They try to avoid it at all costs. They see it as the end, the final judgment on their abilities, a sign that they're not good enough. But let me tell you something, failure is not your enemy. It's actually one of your greatest allies in this journey. In fact, failure is a necessity. You can't grow without it. You can't improve without it. Every successful person you admire has failed countless times. What makes them different is that they don't fear it, they embrace it. When you fail, you learn. Every failure is a lesson, a gift wrapped in a bit of discomfort. Think about it. If you never failed, how would you know what you need to improve? How would you identify your weaknesses and turn them into strengths? You wouldn't. Failures show you where you need to adjust your approach, refine your skills, and push yourself harder. They force you to think differently, to look for new solutions, and to stay resilient. It's through failure that you build the mental toughness you need to keep going even when the road gets tough. Most importantly, failure teaches you persistence. The difference between those who succeed and those who quit is that the successful ones keep going after they fail. They don't throw in the towel. They get back up, learn from their mistakes, and try again, but this time with more wisdom and more determination. Think about Thomas Edison, who famously failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his many failures, he didn't see them as failures at all. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." And that's the mindset you need to have. The road to success is filled with setbacks, but each setback is a setup for a comeback. With every failure, you're one step closer to your success. So when failure knocks on your door and don't run away, don't hide from it. Embrace it, learn from it. Use it as fuel to drive you forward. Remember, failure is never the end. It's the beginning of your next chapter. You see, it's easy to be motivated in short bursts. It's easy to get fired up when you hear the words that fuel your passion, when you watch that inspiring video, or when you're hit with a wave of adrenaline after a tough deal. But what separates those who achieve greatness from those who fade into mediocrity isn't the burst of motivation, it's consistency. You want to build power, you want to build success, you want to build a legacy. It doesn't come from one monumental effort. It comes from showing up every day. The problem is most people think that success comes from an epic transformation, a massive leap forward. They wait for that one moment to change everything, but the truth is that success isn't about one moment. It's about what you do every single day, the small repetitive actions, the quiet grind that happens when no one is watching. It's easy to want to quit when you don't see immediate results, when you don't feel the rewards after your first week or month of work. But this is where most people lose the fight. They don't stick around long enough to see the payoff. They quit too early. The grind is where you build your muscle. The grind is where you build your character. Each day that you push yourself, each day that you show up when everyone else is giving up, you're strengthening yourself for the battle ahead. I'm not talking about working yourself into the ground without purpose. No, I'm talking about the consistent effort over time, no matter how small it seems. You wake up every day with a goal. You put in the work, no matter how you feel. You stay focused on the process, not the results, because the results will come, but only if you're consistent. And it's this relentless consistency that turns potential into power. You see, people love the idea of success. They love the dream. But when it comes to the work, when it comes to the struggle, that's when they fold. They want instant gratification, instant results. They don't understand that this journey is long. The winners are the ones who keep showing up, even when they don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when it seems like no one cares. If you can master consistency, you can master anything. Think of the world's top athletes, the successful entrepreneurs, the leaders who inspire. They don't have some secret talent that the rest of us don't. They just outwork the competition. They have mastered the art of relentless, consistent action. And this is where you need to step up. Don't wait for motivation to hit. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Consistency isn't about doing something for a week or two. It's about making it part of your DNA. It's about integrating your goals into your daily life so that every single day you're moving one step closer to your greatness. Every day is a new opportunity to prove yourself. Don't waste it. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Be relentless. Be consistent. Now, let's talk about one of the hardest things to embrace on this journey: discomfort. The world wants to sell you comfort. It wants to tell you that you deserve ease, that you deserve a life without struggle. But the harsh reality is that comfort kills growth. Comfort stifles potential. It holds you back from becoming the person you were meant to be. The truth is, growth only happens at the edge of your comfort zone. It's when you step into the unknown, when you push yourself beyond what feels safe and familiar, that real progress begins. The sooner you accept that growth is uncomfortable, the sooner you can embrace the struggle and use it as fuel to propel you forward. Ask any successful person about their journey, and they'll tell you that it was never about avoiding discomfort, it was about leaning into it. It was about embracing the grind, embracing the challenges, and using those moments to sharpen their skills, develop their character, and build their resilience. So here's what I want you to understand. Discomfort is your ally, not your enemy. Every time you feel that resistance, that pushback, know that you're at the tipping point of your growth. The pain, the struggle, the frustration, it's all part of the process. And if you can push through it, if you can stay in the fight long enough to see it through, you will emerge stronger than you ever imagined. I get it. It's hard. The world is telling you to take it easy, to look for shortcuts, to find the quickest way to success. But that's not the path to greatness. The path to greatness is through discomfort. You think successful people are immune to the struggle? Think again. Every time they step up to the plate, they face challenges. But instead of running from them, they use them to fuel their rise. They don't complain when things get tough, they push harder. They keep their focus. They understand that on the other side of discomfort is a better version of themselves. And that's what I need you to understand. You're going to face discomfort. You're going to face setbacks. You're going to face moments where you feel like quitting. But if you can hold your ground, if you can dig in when everyone else is folding, you will grow beyond what you thought was possible. Growth happens in the struggle. It's in those moments of doubt when you feel like you can't go any further, that you're being tested. And how you respond to that test will determine your future. Don't run from the discomfort. Step into it. Embrace it, because with every step forward, with every challenge you conquer, you are becoming the person you are meant to be. The discomfort is temporary, but the growth you gain from pushing through it is forever. All right, let's talk about drive. Not the kind of drive you get when you're excited to chase a quick win. I'm talking about the kind of drive that's forged in blood, sweat, and tears, the kind of drive that doesn't fade when things get hard. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care that you had a rough day or that you're tired. What it cares about is your output. It cares about your results, and it will chew you up and spit you out if you can't deliver. That's the truth of this game. No one is going to come rescue you when you're struggling. No one is going to pat you on the back just for trying. The world doesn't owe you anything. Relentless drive. This is the drive that doesn't slow down, the drive that burns in your gut, that keeps you going when everyone else is dropping off. It's that inner fire that refuses to let you quit even when the world is trying to knock you down. This kind of drive doesn't come from motivation. Motivation is temporary, it's fleeting. What keeps you going is discipline, grit, and the unwavering belief that you can't stop until the job is done. Now, that doesn't mean it's easy. It's never easy. If you're waiting for things to get easier, if you're hoping that somehow everything will line up and your path will clear, you're in for a rude awakening. This path is hard. You're going to face obstacles, setbacks, and challenges that seem insurmountable. You're going to have moments when you feel like everything is falling apart, when it feels like the world is against you. But here's the thing. That's when your drive matters the most. It's when you want to quit, when you're on the verge of breaking, that you need to push harder. That's when you need to dig deep, find that extra gear, and keep going. The difference between the winners and the losers is this: the winners keep pushing when the losers quit. You have to embrace this mentality. If you want to be unstoppable, you have to be relentless in your pursuit of your goals. Every failure, every mistake, every setback, it's all part of the journey. You learn, you adapt, and you get better. But you never stop. You never quit. Because quitting is the one thing that guarantees you'll never get what you want. And let's be clear, this isn't about just achieving success. This is about becoming unbreakable. It's about building a momentum that cannot be stopped. It's about creating a life where obstacles are nothing but stepping stones to something greater. When you build that kind of relentless drive, you build momentum, and momentum is powerful. Momentum doesn't just carry you, it propels you. It pushes you forward even when you feel like you can't keep going. Momentum becomes this unstoppable force, and once it starts, it's nearly impossible to stop. So ask yourself, do you have that kind of drive? Are you willing to keep going when everyone else has fallen by the wayside? Are you willing to face the grind, to embrace the struggle, and to push forward with everything you've got? Because if you can master relentless drive, if you can make it a part of who you are, then nothing will ever stand in your way. You will be unstoppable. Fear. It's the one thing that holds more people back from success than anything else. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, Fear of the unknown. We all experience this, but what separates the successful from the average isn't the absence of fear, it's how you react to it. Fear is natural. It's part of being human. It's a signal that you're doing something significant, something that requires you to push beyond your comfort zone. Fear is a compass. It's telling you that you're on the right path, that you're about to do something that's going to take you to the next level. Now, you have two choices when it comes to fear. You can let it control you and hold you back, or you can use it. You can lean into it, face it head on, and allow it to push you to do the things you would never do otherwise. You see, most people have a toxic relationship with fear. They view it as an enemy. They shy away from it, run from it, avoid it at all costs. But the truth is, fear is the gateway to greatness. Every successful person you admire has faced fear, but they chose to confront it, not let it defeat them. It's not about eliminating fear, it's about learning to operate in spite of it. This takes us to something even more crucial: discomfort. Success is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. If you're not uncomfortable, then you're probably not growing. But most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, seeking comfort at every turn. And that's exactly why they don't reach their full potential. Discomfort is where all the magic happens. Every time you choose discomfort over comfort, you make progress. Every time you push through the fear and step into that zone of discomfort, you grow. It's like this: think of discomfort as your personal trainer in the gym. At first it's tough. It feels like you're going to collapse, your muscles burn, and you feel like quitting. But guess what? That's how you get stronger. That's how you level up. You push through the discomfort, and on the other side, you're stronger, faster, and more capable than before. This applies to every area of your life. Whether it's business, relationships, health, or personal growth, discomfort is the signal that you're on the right track. It means you're stretching, you're evolving, and you're stepping outside of the world you've always known into a better version of yourself. But don't expect it to be easy. It's not. Growth is never easy. The path to success is a constant battle against fear and discomfort. And that's exactly why so many people fail. They don't want to feel the pain, the discomfort, or the fear. They want the easy way out. They want instant results without putting in the work. But those who push through discomfort are the ones who win, because discomfort isn't just something you survive. It's something you thrive in. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You have to become so familiar with the feeling of fear and discomfort that they don't have any power over you. When you make fear and discomfort your allies, you unlock the true potential of what you can achieve. Persistence is the key that unlocks the door to your success. It's not the most talented, the smartest, or the luckiest people who achieve their goals. It's the ones who don't quit, who keep pushing forward even when the odds are stacked against them. Persistence is about refusing to give up no matter what. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you doubt yourself, and even when you're not seeing results right away. You see, results come from doing the work, and doing the work consistently over and over again, even when it feels like nothing is happening. The truth is, success doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. It's the small actions you take every day that compound over time. Think about the effort it takes to build a strong foundation for a house. It requires consistent effort, patience, and sometimes a lot of hard work. But once the foundation is built, it supports everything that comes next. In the same way, your consistent actions today will lay the foundation for the success you'll achieve tomorrow. Let's take a moment to reflect on some of the most successful people in history. People like Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. People like Michael Jordan, who was cut from his high school basketball team but didn't let that setback stop him. People like J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection before finally getting Harry Potter published. What did all of these people have in common? They didn't give up. If they had let failure stop them, if they had given up when things got hard, they wouldn't have achieved greatness. And neither will you. You have to develop grit, the determination to keep going, even when progress is slow, and even when you feel like you're not getting anywhere. Persistence isn't about going all in for one big push and then quitting when things don't work out. It's about showing up consistently and continuing to push forward even when you're faced with obstacles. It's about taking small, deliberate actions day after day, stacking them up until you've built something incredible. But there's something else to understand about persistence. It's not just about sheer willpower. It's about adjusting and learning along the way. Persistence is about staying committed to your goals, but being flexible enough to learn from your mistakes, to adapt and to keep improving. Think of persistence like climbing a mountain. At first, it's steep and exhausting. You might slip, you might stumble, and you might think about giving up. But the more you keep going, the more you learn how to find your footing. You adjust your approach, you find a rhythm, And then one day you're standing at the top, looking down at all that you've accomplished. So when you hit setbacks, and you need to remember this, persistence doesn't mean you're never going to fail. It means you're willing to fail forward. It means you're going to learn from each setback, get back up, and keep moving forward with more wisdom and experience. Don't confuse persistence with perfection. It's not about doing everything right all the time. It's about showing up, continuing to push forward, and trusting that the results will come, even if it takes time. As we wrap up this discussion, it's crucial to remember that success is not just about the end result. It's about the journey, the path you take, the challenges you overcome, and the person you become along the way. Too often we focus on the destination, the achievement, the recognition, the end goal. But success is not a final destination. It's a series of moments, a collection of small victories, and countless lessons learned. It's about the growth, the evolution, and the transformation that happens when you commit to something greater than yourself. Success in its truest form is the accumulation of effort, persistence, and continuous growth. You may think that the hardest part is reaching the goal, but sometimes the hardest part is embracing the journey itself. And when you do, something magical happens. You start to enjoy the process. When you focus on the process over the outcome, you start to appreciate every small step you take, every challenge you face, and every lesson you learn. You begin to celebrate the small wins because you realize that they all add up to something bigger. The journey becomes the reward. The truth is, you will change along the way. You'll grow in ways you never expected, and sometimes that growth will come through difficulty and adversity. But remember, the person you become through the process is the true reward. This person, this version of yourself, is stronger, wiser, and more capable than the one you were when you first began. So the next time you face an obstacle or when the road seems long and uncertain, remind yourself of this: every step forward is part of your journey. Every effort counts, no matter how small. Keep going and keep growing. Trust the process because the destination will always be there, but it's the journey that shapes you. It's in the pursuit of your goals and the commitment to improve every day that you find meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. And when you embrace the journey, you realize that the work itself is the reward. Success is not just what you achieve, it's who you become along the way. Now go out there and keep taking those small steps. Embrace the grind, trust the process, and never stop growing. The best version of yourself is waiting for you just ahead, and it's in your hands to make it happen. So take the first step, keep going. And always remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Success is not simply about reaching a goal, it's about building the resilience, persistence, and mindset needed to make that goal a reality. Stay committed to the process, embrace the ups and downs, and never stop growing. You have everything you need within you to succeed. Your journey starts now.